Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I would like to talk about something that affects almost all of us: social media. Every day, we scroll through our phones, check posts, and share pictures or videos. Social media feels natural, almost like breathing. It connects us with friends, helps us discover trends, and sometimes even teaches us new things. For our generation, it is not just a tool, it feels like a part of daily life. But I think we need to ask an important question: what is the true impact of social media on us, both positive and negative? On the positive side, social media can connect people across distances. If you have relatives abroad, you can see their updates instantly. If you feel alone, you can find communities that share your interests. Students can learn from videos and tutorials, small businesses can promote their products, and important news can spread faster than ever. During emergencies, social media has even saved lives by spreading warnings quickly. These are real benefits we cannot ignore. However, there is another side. Social media can also create pressure. When we see photos of others living seemingly perfect lives, it is easy to compare and feel inferior. Some people feel they always need to look good, to post something impressive, to collect likes and followers. That pressure can lead to stress, anxiety, and sometimes even depression. The platform that was meant to connect us can, ironically, make us feel isolated. There is also the issue of misinformation. Anyone can post anything, and sometimes false stories spread faster than truth. For young people who are still learning how to judge information, this can be dangerous. It reminds us that social media is not always a mirror of reality, it can be a distorted reflection. Another big concern is privacy. Every click, every post, every photo we upload is recorded. Companies use that data to show us ads or predict our behavior. In some ways, we are not only the users of social media, we are also the product being sold. Should we be comfortable with that? This is something we should think about carefully. So what should we do? I don't believe the answer is to abandon social media completely. It has too many benefits to simply reject. But we can use it with awareness. For example, we can set limits on screen time. We can remind ourselves that people's posts are often highlights, not their full reality. We can be careful before sharing unverified news. And we can check our privacy settings, making sure we control what we want to share. In the end, social media is not inherently good or bad. It is a tool. How it affects us depends on how we use it. If we use it just to compare ourselves or to chase approval, it can harm us. But if we use it to learn, to connect genuinely, and to share ideas responsibly, it can enrich our lives. My opinion is this: we should treat social media as an opportunity, but also as a responsibility. We can enjoy its benefits, but we must also guard our minds, our privacy, and our sense of self. Thank you very much.
All right, listeners. Today we're tuning the frequency to social media. What it is, why it shapes our lives, and how to dance with it without losing the beat. Not just posts, not just likes. We're going DJ style. The rhythm, the reach, the reasons people care. If words like algorithm, influencer, or viral trend have ever made you stop and wonder, stay with me. By the end of this set, you'll hear the melody beneath the noise. First up, what is social media really? Think of it as a global stage where anyone can grab the mic. Platforms like Instagram, TikTok, X, or YouTube are the clubs where people gather, share, and remix ideas. Every post is like a track dropped into the mix. Sometimes it blends, sometimes it clashes, sometimes it becomes the anthem of the moment. Social media is not just entertainment, it's a network of billions, pulsing in real time. How does it work behind the scenes? Two big beats: algorithms and engagement. The algorithm is like the DJ's hand on the turntable, deciding what track comes next. It looks at your past moves, what you liked, what you skipped, how long you stayed, and serves you more of the same rhythm. Engagement, comments, shares, reactions, is the energy on the dance floor. The more people move, the louder the track becomes. Together, they create the feedback loop that makes one video obscure and another go viral overnight. Let's talk identity. On social media, your profile is your stage name, your curated persona. You choose the photos, the captions, the filters. You project a version of yourself, sometimes authentic, sometimes polished, sometimes exaggerated. There's freedom in this. You can express creativity, find communities, speak without gatekeepers. But there's also pressure to be perfect, to be constant, to perform. Lose sight of the line between the curated self and the real self, and the music can start to feel hollow. Why are people into this? Reach, connection, influence. A single post can cross borders in seconds. A teenager in one country can start a dance challenge that millions join across continents. Activists can rally support. Musicians can drop tracks without a label. Small businesses can find customers without a storefront. Social media democratizes the spotlight. Anyone can have their moment on stage. That is powerful. But here's the dissonance. Social media amplifies not only creativity, but also comparison. Seeing highlight reels of other people's lives can create envy, anxiety, and a sense of never being enough. Misinformation spreads as easily as inspiration. Hate speech can ride the same algorithmic wave as humor. And the constant stream of notifications, likes, hearts, retweets, can feel less like applause and more like chains that keep us checking, scrolling, refreshing. Privacy deserves a straight talk. Every click, every pause, every message becomes data. Platforms record the rhythm of your attention, and that data fuels targeted ads, predictions, even manipulations. Who owns that beat? Your attention, your habits, your choices? Is it you or the company behind the app? With great connection comes great surveillance, and that's part of the track we need to remix responsibly. So how do you stay in the groove without burning out? A few steps. First, be intentional. Ask yourself, why am I here? To connect with friends, to learn, to laugh? Keep that purpose clear. Second, set limits. Just as a party has an end time, your scrolling needs one too. Third, balance creation with consumption. Don't only dance to others' tracks, drop your own. Post your art, your words, your music. Fourth, guard your privacy. Check settings, question permissions, and remember, not every beat is meant to be shared. Real talk. Social media is not just memes and cat videos. It is a structure of influence, a marketplace of attention, a stage for voices both beautiful and destructive. It can unite people for justice, or divide them with outrage. It can inspire creativity, or trap us in comparison. Sometimes it uplifts, sometimes it drags us down. The point is not to log off entirely, but to learn the rhythm and choose how we move to it. As we fade into the outro, here's your recap. Social media is a global stage powered by algorithms and engagement. It offers reach, identity, and influence, but carries risks of comparison, misinformation, privacy loss, and addiction. You can dance with it, but you need awareness, balance, and boundaries. Protect your attention, protect your peace, and don't let the algorithm define your worth. That's the set for today. If you keep your purpose clear and your rhythm steady, you'll hear the melody beneath the noise. Stay sharp, stay kind, and catch me on the next beat.
The question we face today is not whether social media is popular, it clearly is. Billions of people log in every day. The real question is deeper. What kind of life, what kind of society does social media encourage us to build? At first glance, the promise of social media seems obvious. It allows us to connect across borders, to share ideas instantly, to find communities of support. A single voice can reach millions, a single video can inspire change. Students can discover knowledge beyond their textbooks, entrepreneurs can start businesses without storefronts, activists can rally people for justice. These are powerful achievements. But pause for a moment. Is connection the same as community? Is communication the same as understanding? When we measure value in likes, shares, and followers, do we elevate genuine expression, or do we encourage performance? Consider how social media works. Behind the scenes, algorithms decide what we see. They do not aim to promote truth or fairness, they are designed to maximize engagement, to keep our attention fixed. The result is a feedback loop. The more provocative, emotional, or extreme the content, the more it spreads. Here we must ask, do we control the platforms, or do the platforms control us? Another question is about identity. Social media invites us to curate ourselves, to present the version we want others to see. There is freedom in this, creativity, humor, style, activism. But there is also pressure to be perfect, to be constant, to never show weakness. If we come to value ourselves only through the approval of strangers, are we truly free? Or are we enslaved by the algorithm's applause? Fairness also comes into play. Who benefits most from social media? For some, it opens doors of opportunity. For others, it closes them. Access depends on devices, connectivity, literacy, and cultural privilege. The digital divide means that some voices are amplified while others remain unheard. And even among those online, not all voices carry equal weight. Influencers command millions, while ordinary users struggle for attention. If democracy means that every citizen has a voice, what does it mean when the currency of speech is attention, and attention is distributed unequally? Privacy raises another set of concerns. Every click, every pause, every message is recorded, analyzed, sold. Our preferences, fears, and desires become commodities. Here lies a moral question: should our personal lives be raw material for profit? Should our attention be treated as a resource to be mined, like oil or coal? Or should privacy be recognized as a right, and our attention as something we own, not something to be bought and sold? History offers some perspective. The printing press expanded knowledge, newspapers fueled public debate, radio and television reshaped culture. Each technology brought both promise and peril. But social media is different. It does not simply deliver information, it shapes the very rhythm of our attention. It encourages us to respond instantly, to judge quickly, to move on without reflection. We must ask, what happens to democracy, to public discourse, when speed and sensation replace patience and reason? Think also about the impact on mental health. Studies show that heavy use of social media can increase anxiety, depression, and feelings of inadequacy, especially among the young. Why? Because the constant comparison to curated highlight reels of others' lives fosters envy and insecurity. If education teaches us to think critically, if friendship teaches us to care genuinely, what does social media teach us? Perhaps it teaches us to measure our worth in numbers that never satisfy. So, what should we do? One temptation is to embrace social media uncritically, as if more connection automatically means more community. Another is to reject it entirely, to log off and declare it toxic. But neither response is sufficient. The real task is to deliberate, together, as citizens, what role should social media play in our lives? What values should govern it? Should we treat it merely as a marketplace of attention, governed by profit? Or should we treat it as a civic space, where rules of fairness and respect apply? Should we allow algorithms to decide what voices are amplified, or should we demand transparency and accountability? Should data belong to corporations, or should it belong to the individuals who generate it? These are not questions for engineers alone. They are not questions the market can answer. They are civic questions, moral questions, questions for all of us. There may be no single, final answer. But raising these questions is itself essential. In an age where algorithms promise instant answers, perhaps the deeper lesson is to resist that urge, to hold on to the practice of asking, reflecting, and debating. The impact of social media is not only about technology. It is about who we become, together. Do we want to be a society that measures worth in clicks and views, or a society that values genuine dialogue and mutual respect? Do we want to treat attention as a commodity, or as a shared human capacity to be protected? These are the questions we must keep alive. For in asking them, we practice the very citizenship that no algorithm can automate.